Hello everybody, Bobby here. Today we're taking a look at the preview exclusive Mezco 112 collectables Black Suit Spider-Man. This is a really cool box. It's a tin case. You got the Black Suit symbol there. You got Mezco 112 collectibles on the side. All black. Really good. Spider-Man on the top. Got Mezco toys with their little symbol on the other side. Spider-Man at the bottom. Pretty good. And then at the front, you obviously got the black suit symbol. And then on the back, you got the picture of the suit, of the figure, and everything that comes with it. It's got that little plastic casing. Let's get that off there. Yeah. But yeah, let's open it up. Yeah, it's metal and cool. Now you open it up, it's kind of like a lunchbox. It just comes with two little paper things to keep, I guess, the plastic intact. It comes with a little pamphlet saying how to keep your figures intact, and it's not bad. It's nice to get that. So that's the figure inside of it, inside the box. Looks good. Let's go and open it up. And here we have the Black Suit Spider-Man opened. And, well, I gotta say, I've been messing around with it for the last couple days, and I love this figure. I wanted to get my hands on the on a Mezco figure because I had recently ordered. Well, I'd not say recently, but for the past few months I've had the Michael Myers on pre-order, the Jason on pre-order, and then I recently ordered the Ash, and that's on pre-order. And I wanted to get my hands on one of these guys so I could see, alright, this is what this is going to be like. And I just recently played PS Spider on PS4, and I'm like, alright. And the red suit was out of stock everywhere, so the black suit was one that I could get my hands on, and I'm like, alright, I like Black Suit Spidey. He does have like a little stand, and the peg is, well, it's a little tough to get off, because when you peg his foot on there, it kind of gets stuck, so yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. But, you know, I like it. They also had the Spider-Man Homecoming suit on pre-order, which I actually might get that. But after messing with this figure, I definitely want to get more superhero Mezco figures. So, let's just hop on into the accessories. So he comes with a pair of fists, and the fists have this little groove in it that is for the webbing. So the webbing is like on this little circle thing, and you just kind of just clip it in to the hand and connect into that little groove, and then you can peg it onto them. And I believe these are the hands you use the webbing with. Spider-Man does not come with the thwipping hands, obviously, because he's a Black Suit Spider-Man. He doesn't do that. And he looks perfectly good with the webs. I mean, not bad. I've seen a bunch of different Spider-Man's webs, and I would say this is the one that looks probably the best, in my opinion. He comes with a longer and a shorter version of this, like, glob of web shooting out, like he's shooting a projectile web at somebody. And it's just your preference if you want a more smaller or a more larger version of that. So, I liked it. It looks different. That one, I would say this web's more of a, excuse me, I would say this web's more of a webbing to a wall or another surface kind of web. Or maybe he's webbing onto somebody. And that's why, the webbing is kind of stretched out in a way. And that's neat. This figure is really posable. I mean, it's really posable. It's probably one of the most posable Spider-Mans I've ever gotten. But the web looks good for what it is. You definitely want to pull. I would probably pull, if I got to pose it with that web, probably would have it to where that web is kind of holding on to something. This, I don't know what I would call this. This is more of a stretched out web, so maybe it's like Spider-Man webbing something down or something like that, I would say. Not bad. Maybe he's like webbing one of his enemies down and that good stuff. But it's, like I said, it's really easy to get them on, get the web on there. I mean, the way the hands are pegged, some of the hands are a little tough to get them to stick in there, but the fits are okay. And yes, both fists you can put the webs on. Obviously, I've shown you that, but the other hands it comes with, you can't really do that due to the fact it doesn't have the groove. And I don't know if that's the same way with the Red Spidey, but I don't think so after seeing some of the reviews on him. But, yeah, Spider-Man does look good with the webs, I would say. I mean, he is Spider-Man, so he should look good shooting webs. I don't know. But, kind of having him... This isn't really the flattest surface of a thing I could have him stand on, but it's what I got on hand. But for the web accessories, they're really good. I don't really see anything else I could have gotten out of the webs. I really don't pull Spider-Man figures that much. Although I don't have a lot of Spider-Man figures that much. So, I mean, I used to collect those kind of figures a lot back in the day, but, not really a superhero toy collector anymore. But since I played the new Spider-Man, I kind of have that feeling. There's one more webbing accessory I'll show, but let's get the hands out of the way real quick. These are what I would call the more opened hands, the wall crawling kind of hands. And they're easy to put in there too. And I like these hands more than the fists, more because they're more of a dynamic kind of thing. When you got the fist, it's like he's either gonna shoot the webs or he's gonna punch. When he's got his hands up, it's like he could be doing something like launching himself in the air or doing like a kick or whatever. And the articulation helps with that. And I would say the suit doesn't really hinder the articulation that much, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, he looks good with the open hands. We'll show these hands off again later, but yeah, he looks. I really like these hands, the way they're sculpted. It's just with the folds, and you could say this is easily the symbiote Spider-Man or the and the hands fall off. I will say that the hands are a little loose due to how big the pegs are in the hand, but with every figure, there's always a couple of complaints, but I don't like to judge that badly. And this figure is not really bad. I really do like it. But, it's different, I guess you would say. These hands are the, web holding hands. Now, I did say there's one more web accessory, and this is what I would say goes with the Spider-Man hands. So basically, these hands, you could put the webbing in there, but it sits really loose in his hand. Unless you wrap it around, it's not gonna look great. Oh, this is the little arm accessory to the stand. We'll talk about that in a second. But it helps with the posing of Spider-Man, swinging off webs or jumping off ledges or whatever. But this webbing is on a bendy wire, so it's easy to get it in more dynamic poses. But like I said, it's top heavy. When you have him holding it, Spider-Man tends to want to drop it. So I recommend maybe want to wrap it around the hand a little bit or something. I don't know. He will hold it eventually if you give him the right pose. If you get his hand in the right area, it'll stay in there. But like I said, his hand could be a little more tighter, a little more of a harder plastic. This is a little bit of a flexible plastic, so that's the reason why it's gonna drop. Also, due to that peg being so small, and it's probably because I'm not pegging the hands in all the way. It's kind of how it feels, but I'm not sure. It is a very small peg, and the holes are pretty far in there. And it's a weird looking peg. It's like a little peg on a little ball joint, but the ball joint is like, oh, it's a ball joint. It's a ball, but it's got that weird swivel. The base is really awesome. I've heard a lot of people complain that the size is too big, and well, I won't disagree it's big, but I guess they don't have a lot of room in their collection. I have my own shelf just for this. And I might not pose the figure on the base, but I'll definitely pose the base behind the figure. It's not like I can't display it. I got a pretty good shelf for them too, so. Down the line, I'm going to get some more shelves for my figures so I can start getting a bigger collection. But, this isn't bad. Oh, I got it off. Neat. This arm has some articulation. It's like 5 points of articulation. The bottom, the middle area, the top, and then there's like a hinge at the arm, and then the claws themselves move in and out, so you can do that. You can tighten it with a screwdriver. It doesn't really seem to make it too much tighter, but I mean, obviously when you start moving around, it's gonna start loosening it. So, like I said, tighten it won't hurt it, but yeah, it helps. But I do like how articulated the arm is, and the only complaint I have about it is that it doesn't really grip Spider-Man all that well. Spider-Man does kind of fit, at least for mine, it fits a little loose in the arm, but that's just me. But yeah, I think the arm's pretty good. You know, it just got a pretty good range of movement. I mean, I've seen better arms, and I've had better stand arms, but this isn't terrible. It's just, oh, you want Spider-Man or any other character in a flight pose or an air pose, this is probably the best you can do. And it's not terrible for what it does. Like I said, mine, for some reason, it just sits loose on mine, so. It is a pretty heavy figure. It's not heavy, but it's, I guess, the weight of the figure, it won't. It's more the grasp of it. It'll hold it, but when you're trying to give a more dynamic pose like swinging or something, it doesn't really want Spider-Man start tilting, and it don't look good. You'll see if you get this. If mine is like yours, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But you can get them in good poses with it. So let's get into articulation. So this Spider-Man is probably one of the most posable Spider-Mans that I have. His head goes all the way around. Not even going by what the neck has. It's on a ball joint, so it goes up and down. It's got a good tilt to it, so like, you can get like a confused Spider-Man down all the way up pretty good. That's without the neck, and this is with the neck, and it's good. You can easily pop the head off. If you have any other Spider-Man figures that go along with this that will fit it, you can put it on it. Arms go about that much with the shoulders. Goes, I could go all the way around, but it's a cloth figure. Obviously, you can't do that. There is a swivel in the elbow, in the little, in that area, on the upper arm. Double hinge at the elbow, and then a weird joint in the hand. Like I said, it's like a swivel in the hand with the peg, but it also has a hinge, and if you move it the right way, it can go hinge in and out from that way, or up or down, or left or right. So it just depends on what direction you have that joint facing. But I'm guessing that's the thing with all Mezco 112s. So, torso, his upper torso is on a ball joint. His lower torso is also on a ball joint. So he can do dynamic poses with that. It's just a lot of ball joints. He can go back about that far and go down about that far. So that's cool. His legs go in and out. The leg goes out about that much. Kicks up about there. Doesn't really go back much. He has a swivel in that joint as well. And he has double jointed knees. So that's really cool. And I think that's why I like the cloth aspect of this. You can't see the joints. His foot goes up and down, and it's got an ankle pivot. It's got a good ankle pivot. The left foot, that ankle pivot was like stuck. It didn't want to do that, and I was scared I was going to break it. And I think with a cloth figure, the whole hot water trick doesn't work, and obviously you don't want to do that. I was forgetting. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's get into this. I forgot about this. It's another accessory, kind of like the arm, but it's a magnetic clip that you can clip Spider-Man to metal surfaces. So we're going to reuse the open wall crawling hands for this. And, yeah. It's basically, you can put Spider-Man on a metal surface, and let's get up here. And Spider-Man can just sit there and look like he's wall climbing. Here's him scaled with other Marvel Legends type figures. These aren't Marvel Legends. These are the Spider-Man figures I had in hand. That's the Amazing Spider-Man 1 Miles Morales figure. And then the other side of him is I don't remember what Spider-Man that is. It's from Spider-Man Classics, one of those figures. Not the original Spider-Man Classics, but it's one of those older lines of that series. Here's him with the Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man 2 series Toxin. The only reason why I put him with him because I'm going to do a custom with him as the base. Here's him with the Marvel Legends Wolverine. I just try to get as many Marvel Legends as I could to display with him. Here's him with the next figure review I have coming, Marvel Select Venom, and he looks awesome with Venom, I gotta say. I mean, if you want to say he's in scale with him, Venom could be a little bigger than him. That's fine. The Todd McFarlane look to him with the Spider-Man looks great. And he's easily posed with Venom. He looks awesome. You can get this guy in good poses. I absolutely love this Spider-Man. It's awesome. It's great. I recommend picking this up. I liked it. I get about 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.